Hi, everyone. Welcome to The Corner. I'm here with Jason, and you can say hi to them if you'd like.
Hey, everyone. It's good to be with you.
We haven't been on The Corner together in a while. This feels great.
It feels really great. And we got paper in front of us.
We do, because we have a big community update having to do with Serve
Vancouver Day.
This is something we do every year in the life of our church. We have
I love that we do
since
this
the
every
beginning.
year.
It's a big deal, and it's a chance to highlight the work of our partners who are doing amazing ministry in the city, in North Vancouver, in the Valley. It's a chance to serve them and help them in practical ways. It's a chance for small groups to go do something that's meaningful and fun together. And so we have a list of all the projects in front of us. And
Let me say some things about these projects.
Go ahead.
These projects have come from our team who have built relationships with partners. Some of those partners include ministries we support. Some of them are like schools that are across the street from our church buildings. And through relationship, we've been able to say, how could we serve you in a practical way? These aren't make-work projects. These are legitimate areas of need expressed by our partners. And we're serving these partners in lots of ways throughout the whole year. But once a year, we kind of rally as a church to build a deeper connection with them and really celebrate just the practical work of meeting a need. So this is happening on June 7th.
Yep.
And individuals can sign up. It's a Saturday. But what we're really excited about is the possibility of groups from our church, small groups, doing this together, serving together. And so hopefully tonight, one of the things you can do is look at some of these projects and discuss how might we participate together. And maybe, Chris, we could highlight a few. There's lots.
Yeah,
but
I mean, there's some family-friendly ones. There's, here's one I want to highlight. Betty Ann is a small group pastor in North Vancouver, and she leads YWAM Vancouver.
she's probably watching right now.
There is...
And by now, I
Wow.
mean not our now, but
In the
the
future.
now of them
watching.
Yeah.
Wow. Betty Ann, you're amazing. And there is a YWAM project. And so they're turning like an office into a classroom space for more learning and teaching for their DTS, for their discipleship school. And so that's going to involve painting. It's going to involve putting together furniture. And there's other projects like that scattered all throughout the city. And so, yes, as Jason said, please check that out as a group. We would love to have you register and do it together.
And there's capacity for over 175 unique volunteers. And there is a real need. Some of these partners are counting on us. And so we hope that you can align it with your passion and something you're interested in, but also each of these reflect legitimate expressed need. And so that's something to discuss tonight.
Yeah, I said that there's family-friendly ones, and one such family-friendly initiative would be helping out at Strathcona Elementary across from our site there.
Which is so cool that relationship's
cleaning up.
been growing over the last number of years.
It's very cool. And so that's our update, June 7th, Serve Day. And we don't need these anymore. But we do need this, and I want to read to you the passage that Jason spoke on Sunday. It's from the book of James, because we're in a series on James. This is going great, I feel.
I like the energy.
Yeah, let me read this passage for all of you. This is James 4, verses 13 to 17. Now listen, you who say, today or tomorrow we will go to this or that city, spend a year there, carry on business, and make money. Why, you do not even know what will happen tomorrow. What is your life? You are a mist that appears for a little while and then vanishes. Instead, you ought to say, if it is the Lord's will, we will live and do this or that. As it is, you boast in your arrogant schemes. All such boasting is evil. If anyone then knows the good they ought to do and doesn't do it, it is sin for them. And so I think we should take some time and offer a few reflections on this passage. It kind of highlights two different postures or two different ways of being in the world. And so I wonder if you could give us some thoughts on that.
Yeah, I mean, this passage of scripture is really organized around two quotes that James gives. He goes, some of you are saying, tomorrow I'm going to go to this city. I'm going to do this kind of work for this long, make some money. And he just gets really upset about that. And then he says, instead you should say, if the Lord wills it, I'll do such and such. And so it would be a misinterpretation if you're like, oh man, James really wants to make sure before we say anything about the future, we just have to add this one line, if the Lord wills it.
Right.
It's not like he's not trying to make us pious in the way we speak. He's not trying to just say, our like how you say this specific type of thing is the issue. He's trying to get at the heart posture that's revealed in that kind of communication.
Right. So not policing speech,
Yes.
but inviting us into a certain type of heart posture in how we view the future and plan for the future. And so it's not James here forbidding any type of planning for the future.
No, I think he's assuming that we should.
The book of Proverbs talks about planning for
Yeah.
the future in different ways.
But there's a humility and an arrogance. I mean, one path is arrogant. It's like, I know what tomorrow holds. I'm in control of tomorrow. It's subtle, but it's a way of seeing the future as if, well, he says, who do you think you are? You're a mist. It's like, you don't know what tomorrow holds. On the flip side, there is one that does.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a posture where we might actually be operating in a space that belongs to God.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a posture that's actually quite human-sized that honors God. And that is to say, as I think about tomorrow, I acknowledge that the Lord himself holds tomorrow, not myself.
Mm-hmm.
And the question we got to wrestle with is, how do we get to a posture in our heart where we're living with the kind of humility that honors God? And I think that when we do, not only does it honor God, it actually leads to our flourishing. Like, for example, this idea of the illusion that we hold tomorrow can cause us to not live in the present. It can cause us to live with a burden that we cannot carry. Or there's other implications. I'd love to hear what stands out to you, but I think about we can sometimes miss the gift of God giving us today that comes from entrusting tomorrow to him.
Yeah, I think that the philosopher Blaise Pascal had a line in his Pensees around that. He said, we are so foolish to spend time wandering in times that don't belong to us and neglecting the only one that does. And what he meant is we spend so much time reflecting on the past, or related to this passage, thinking about how to control the future or control outcomes in the future, that we neglect the only time that does belong to us, which is this present moment. And there's elements of this passage that remind me of Jesus' own teaching on worry in Matthew 6, where he says, don't worry about tomorrow.
Today's got enough concerns of its own.
Today's got enough concerns of its own. And also not just enough concerns of its own, enough joys of its own and enough beauties of its own. And so if we spend all this time living in the future, we miss the beauty and the goodness of the current moment as well, which I think is sad.
I was texting with a friend this week in preparation for the message on Sunday, and I just wanted to remember, because this is a friend who I think lives very much in this way. He's present to the moment. He thinks about his story in light of God being God and him being human. And part of that is because he's 52. His dad died at 50. His uncle died of the same heart issue at 48, and his older brother, the same issue at 52. So he is aware that all the men in his family, life ended around where his life is. And that's like, in one sense, could be a really like terrifying thought. But somehow the gift for him has been an awareness of his mortality, has caused him to live with a sense that I don't know tomorrow, which is true of all of us. Like, his life circumstances has forced him to reflect on something that's true of all of us. We do not know what tomorrow holds, but we've been given the day. And there is a spirituality, a way of being in the world that lets God be God and us not. But our response to that is a humility that says, I'm going to receive today as a gift. I'm going to trust tomorrow to God. And so I think there's some really deep things for us to reflect on. I think this is an invitation for us to address, even as we discuss, what confronts us about this text, what's challenging, but then also what invitations are here to a more full life before God.
It does seem like there's this idea of God consciousness that is being highlighted. Like when you think about today, but also when you think about tomorrow, you don't write God out of the picture.
Yeah.
That's the arrogance. You keep God in the picture, and that's what the Lord, if the Lord wills, that's what it's reflecting, this posture of God holds my today, but God also holds my tomorrow. And he's got good plans and purposes for me. It might not be easy. In fact, tomorrow might be really hard in an unexpected way, but he'll be there too, and he'll sustain me and hold me in the midst of it and grow me through it. And then on the flip side, you know, if today is bad, there's no guarantee that tomorrow will be bad or that there's not something beautiful on the horizon. We don't know that either.
Yeah, as soon as you put God in the frame of your thoughts at any given moment, it changes the scene. So I think the ultimate invitation here is to go, there's a canvas in our mind at any given moment. And the spiritually mature, the mature in Christ, every canvas in their mind has a clear picture of God at the center of it, which changes the way we see and experience life in this world.
Yeah, I don't want to write God into my daily schedule, and I don't want to write God into the days to come. I want to lay the daily schedule and the days to come before the Lord and do what he wants and what he wills, because life is too short not to. It's a vapor, so make the vapor matter. So there's lots to think about there. We have questions for you, and we're going to throw it a discussion. Have a great night.